Welcome back to another episode of Backpack Bushcraft. This is Wednesday, and because it's Wednesday, it's time for another GearGab. And since this is a new series, it is sort of a new month, I will be introducing a new gabber. If you watched my live stream Sunday, Farewell to Cargo Tape, you actually will know who my GearGabby is, or my GearGabber is. But if you didn't, you'll have to wait to the end of the video, and I will give all of their links and information so you can make sure you go to their channel and watch their response to this GearGab. But before we do all that, let's get into the gear. One of the first things I noticed when I started YouTube was how diverse our methods are to getting a result in the bushcraft community. What I mean by that is just everybody has a different way to get to A, if that makes sense. Everybody has 1,000 different paths to get to point A. And it's always intrigued me watching how different people go about different stuff, because that personally is how I find my way to get to my way to doing what I want to do, I guess, if that makes any sense. And I've noticed there seems to be a couple types of people when it comes to fire building and the method they do. There are some people who just want to get it done, and they'll just flick the bick, light it with a match, light it with the lighter, and be done with it. I see the benefit of that, saving energy and stuff like that. The biggest problem to me is using a finite resource that may not last you that long. There's also people who I feel are more artistic about the fire. They spend a lot of time making perfect bundles. They make sure all their feather sticks are perfectly carved. They spend a lot of time into their fire, and all it takes is one strike from flint and steel. There's really no problem with that, except it just takes a lot of consumption of more or less time to get that way. And then I feel like there's people like me who want to preserve our finite resources, such as our fire steel and our flint and steel and our lighters and our matches, even though, you know, a ferro rod and a flint steel will last you probably forever. It is a finite resource, but in my opinion, one of the best resources to do, which is renewable, sustainable, and if it goes out, we're all out, is solar. And to capture the solar energy or the solar power in making fire, I use my lids here. This is an 8-power lens. I'm pretty sure it might be 7. I'm not exactly sure. But I first demoed it in the 3-day camp series. If you never checked it out, it's got a playlist on my channel. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's pretty good stuff. But the things I like about this is it's a very robust lens. Typically, I carry those little magnifying cards, and they will get the job done, but they are very breakable. They do not have any durability to them at all. And it also protects the lens in the case, which is a big factor that I never thought about. I would just throw those cards into my fire tin, and before too long they were so scratched up I couldn't get the solar rays to go through the lens to make my ember. But this has a nice case with it. It's also kind of felt lined, so it protects the glass and it doesn't get cut up or nothing like that. And I can just toss this into my fire kit and I don't have to worry about it. But typically how I use this is I will just pull it out. I'll find the sun. The sun's actually behind that ridge right now, so there's no way I can actually do this. But I will just get basically the solar rays in my lens here, and I will just aim it at a piece of char cloth. I always keep char cloth with me. This stuff is basically bushcraft gold in my opinion. But I will just aim the rays at it. You'll actually see a little dot or maybe a circle appear on your char cloth. And what you want to do is you want to try to narrow it down to a very small direct point on your char cloth. That will heat up the char cloth enough to begin an ember or to start to smolder, and just adding a little few breaths, you have a flame, or you at least have a nice ember in your hand. Add that to your bird's nest, you got a fire on the way. That's how I prefer to start my fires for the first time. And I would like to know how Lone Woodsman on YouTube likes to start his fires for the first time. Again, I'm a solar energy guy. I appreciate stuff as ferro rods, flint and steel, big lighters, matches, doing bow drill fire sets. I even want to try the stuff where you roll it up in cotton, and you roll it up in cotton balls and you rub it back and forth and get it to ignite that way. I love all that stuff. But to me, my first attempt on a fire is going to be using the sun. It's a renewable resource. It works just as good as a spark. The only downside to it is it's on a time limit. But Lone Woolsby, if you don't mind, let me know what you think. Let me know how you like to start your fire for the first time. And if you want, and you make sure you want to see that video, you need to go to his channel, and I'll have a link to the description below. And also, when he comments on it, I will pin that comment as well. So make sure you look for his comment. And guys, if you like these videos, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, Backpack Bushcraft. If you want to, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail at Backpack Bushcraft. You can also check out the website where I post contents on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 2 p.m. EST. That website is www.backpackbushcraft.com. But until next time, guys, keep those fires burning and put in the log off for me.